And
Mm.
so like you really kind of have to know, like what we talked about with cell phones, where it's like who's susceptible to this? It's everybody, because not very many people actually know how cell phones, magic internet bricks work. Kind of the same with drones. You can like there's a little bit more to them as well. And like if you want to build something that is kind of cutting edge, or if you want to buy something that's cutting edge, you still kind of have to know what you're doing with it. So that's a big part too. And then one falling out of the sky, hitting somebody on the head and killing them, that's probably going to be a turning point as well. It sounds
Now, I want to
terrible,
bring
and
up
I don't mean to
Yeah, you're
laugh
right
at it,
though.
but
That's what it takes
now,
sometimes.
I want to bring up another point. So, if you'll recall, and I'm really trying to pull back some information here. There has been instances of drones that have worked over the Wi-Fi and have been completely unencrypted with no Wi-Fi protections,
mhm.
allowing people to simply associate to that Wi-Fi and see everything on it. Now, if somebody did that, and we're getting into interesting waters here, if somebody did that, there's no this gets into the whole open door, discussion, right? Where if a door's open and you can see through it, should you walk through it? If there is a drone with an open, unencrypted Wi-Fi access point attached to it, that should you associate to it, and should you then fly it? Because there have been instances, both big implications and small in the past, that have had these. What are your thoughts there then, as far as, do you think that type of hijacking, because we deal with this type of hijacking in cybersecurity all the time, what are your thoughts on, is that just, tit for tat there? Or is that something that should be observed and just not taken advantage of?
God, why you gotta ask such difficult questions, Frank?
Sorry.
Like, half of me is like,
Sharpshooting Chris.
yeah, half of me is like, you're the idiot who bought a drone and didn't know what you had, and it's got all this open communication. That's your own fault, right? The other part of me is like, that's somebody's property, right? Especially if you were to do damage to it or destroy it. I don't know, moral quandary, man. Like, I tend to lean towards the be an idiot, don't buy a drone that's unsecure. You should know that before you buy it, right? It's kind of like the TP link conversation we had on the last episode, right? Don't buy
Mm-hmm.
something that you know is bad, right? You wouldn't go to the grocery store and buy rotten fruit, right? Like,
What if you were the
buying
U.S.
a rotten?
military, though?
I've not heard this story, so this
In
is a first for me. I didn't know this.
2009,
Okay,
multiple news outlets reported that Iraq insurgents were hacking Predator drone feeds because things are not
sick.
encrypted. There's CNN articles, CBS, it's all over the internet. So the implications there then, yeah, I agree with you. But clearly, they thought they were
That's what.
buying the good shit. And
Yeah, yeah. No, you're right. But that's like a big difference between a military action, right? Like, you don't think. Well, I'm not going to say that. Like, other countries have done that. That's just warfare. Part of the deal, right? You're taking advantage of a vulnerability, whether it's in a person, a piece of technology, a piece of equipment. Oh no, did I just?
interesting note, if you go to eastern Ukraine right now, you'll see thin fiber optic cables throughout all of the forests and the tree limbs and on the top of the trees, because the drone usage has
Takes
gotten
time.
so intense, and the combating with the different signal fires has become so intense that they have to attach thin wires and fly the drones off long, like, fiber fishing lines to then, explode and so forth.
Pretty cool. I think
I
I
don't know,
cut out
Dustin,
there.
what are your
Sorry, guys.
thoughts?
Yeah, morally, I don't have an issue with it. As
The end.
weird as that
Love
sounds,
it.
I don't.
Thank you,
Yeah,
doctor.
no, I don't. I mean, like, what you have an open Wi-Fi, and it's not even connected to the internet. So, like, you have an open Wi-Fi thing that you're not even going to have like theft of service if you did like. Because that's the thing. If you connect an open Wi-Fi thing and you start, using bandwidth, then technically it's theft of service, but also technically you didn't really put a password on there, so there's no
Yeah.
door. So that is like, even for that, that's like maybe gray area for me. This, you have an open Wi-Fi access point that connects to some kind of device that's just hanging out and it's just there. Sorry, I don't have an ethical dilemma with that, because that's just the thing. If you don't want people on there, then you need to lock it down, and that's it. Period.
You've changed, Dustin.
I know.
You've changed.
I used to be cool.